poverty, guys. Probably you've not even eaten, you've not had breakfast, but you just find a way and transport yourself to school, and only for you to sit down in class and they tell you, oh, this lecturer just brought this handout, it's like 5,000 naira. This doesn't make sense. Make it make sense to me. It's the rich that eat 3 square meal now. An average Nigerian cannot even provide the basic life for their children. Majority of us were raised in a survival mode. Welcome to Lifestyle Fast with Chisom. Thank you. If you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you are new to this channel, you are welcome. For the old subscribers, you are the real MVP. So today we're talking about poverty, guys. Poverty. And I know no one likes to hear this word. Poverty is crazy. To be in lack, inability to afford basic things of life. I remember back in the days when we were in school, I could see a lot of people, students in particular, the level of lack. These are people that come to classes to sit down in the class, to come and attend lecture. Probably you've not even eaten, you've not had breakfast, but you just find a way and transport yourself to school, and only for you to sit down in class and they tell you, oh, this lecturer just brought this handout, it's like 5,000 naira. Or this lecturer brought this note, you need to photocopy it, it's like 2,000 naira. And there you are, someone that has not eaten breakfast and they're telling you about book. This doesn't make sense. Make it make sense to me. Some of us are from privileged background, while a lot, majority, the country is in a poor state. The average Nigerian is a poor man. Majority of us find ourselves in that range of trying to survive, trying to afford 2 square meal. I won't even call it 3 square meal because it's the rich that eat 3 square meal now. So trying to afford 2 square meal. Then take it to the level of an average Nigerian student that is struggling. His survival, the basic survival is based on what the parents give to them, and understand the reason why we have increase in crime rates, increase in a lot of vices that are happening in our society. Okay, let me take you step by step on how these things keep growing. So let me use an example. Your parent is a civil servant. Civil servant in Nigeria is said to be an average Nigerian. It's an average Nigerian. So let's say that the civil servant is earning like, let me say 250,000 or 200,000, and probably they have like 3 children. They are going to a federal university. Let me leave the private universities and the state universities out of it. So now they are going to a federal university, and the normal federal school fees is within the range of 90,000 to 150,000. So, and these people have 3 kids, and they have to like pay the house rent. They have to pay their own family house rent. They have to pay house rent for their children, and they still have to like save up for miscellaneous health and every other thing that comes with it. And then they still have to take care of their own personal need, because you are not just living for your children. They also have needs. The parents also have needs. You know that an average Nigerian cannot even provide the basic life for their children. Let's not be realistic, right? If you sort out, let's say your parents manage to like pay your school fees, pay your accommodation, and that should be like, if in a cheaper, you should get like, let me say 250,000 or let's say 400,000 naira after clearing, sorting those bills. And you've not included the students' transportation, you've not included their feeding, everyday feeding, you've not included their miscellaneous. If it's a female child, he needs to buy pad, he needs to rub cream, he needs to change clothes, he needs to make her hair so it doesn't look anyhow to school. And all of these are said to be what the parents should cater for. But in reality, your parents cannot cater for all of this. How does this affect the quality of education that we're having? So let's go down to, let me take you back to the average Nigerian student that is going to class. He hasn't eaten breakfast and they have to like sort bills. They told them that they should pay for handouts, they should pay for a textbook. And mind you, these people they're not just doing one course, they have a lot of courses that they are doing, and let's say 4 lecturers per course. And imagine in a situation whereby these lecturers, each of them have to ask them to buy a particular textbook for the course. What will become the fate of the students? Where will they get this money from? You might disagree with me, but majority of us were raised in a survival mode. believe it or not, we have just been surviving. We have not been living. We have been surviving. We have been managing all our life. What we know how to do is manage. What we know how to do is, oh, hold on to this one. Hold on to this one. You don't know when next is coming. You don't even know how it's going to come. You are just lucky to get this thing. You already know the situation of things at home. You don't need a soothsayer to come and tell you that you need to manage. And imagine you now come to the school environment. I know, don't tell me that this is where contentment comes in, because I know exactly what contentment is. I'm speaking the voice, the mind of 1,000 undergraduates, postgraduates that can relate to this video. So don't tell me anything about contentment, because we truly know what contentment is. That's why we're not doing what others are doing. So you now come to an environment where you see people living lavishly, and you know, you keep wondering, you keep asking yourself, what is it? Why is it that my own things are not okay? Why is it that things are not going well for me? Me personally, I think some of my videos are when I talked about things I wish I knew when I was a teenager. I once said it's not too early for you to invest. You should invest as early as possible as someone that is growing. But in the reality, can we take it to the level of an average Nigerian that doesn't even have money to invest in anything? Can we take it to the level of people that have not even seen money to eat? Can we take it to the level of people that are still trying to get complete school fees? Can we take it to the level of people that barely have clothes to wear for lectures? Because we are not talking about all these things. There are students that, while I was in school, I can remember that there are some people that I watch from the beginning of the semester to the end of the semester. It's the same footwear, one single footwear that I wear from the beginning to the end of the semester. Can we take it to the level of people that cannot afford all those things and try and be realistic instead of telling them to invest in money that does not exist? How do they cope seeing their colleagues, seeing their mates wearing 5 inches bone strength, wearing latest clothes, wearing the best things, and you then go back to school? You resume each semester by semester, you are still repeating the same clothes, you are still wearing the same school bag, the same shoes. And please, as I'm making this video, don't tell me anything about contentment yet, because I know what contentment is. So you see yourself wearing the same thing, repeating the same thing, and you know, you get this bad look, like your friends, your colleagues, like they start looking at you like, is it only in your house that there's no money? I mean, is this poverty in this country? Is it only in your house that it is fixed on? And you know, as much as you want to like wave it off or shade it off or like pay deaf ears to them, gradually it just gets to you. You can't be too tough for all those kind of things. You start getting to you. And then when you see people like gradually they're like, okay, maybe I need to like get someone to fund my lifestyle, and they go to the next option, which is having a boyfriend to fund their lifestyle. And if some people are quite lucky, they end up finding the love of their life. Why, on a bigger note, some people are not lucky and they end up entering the wrong guys. Situation where people want to like take advantage of them because they are giving them clothes, because they are buying things for them, because they are taking care of them. They enter abuses, they enter a lot of shit, a lot of stuff that they don't even know how to get yourself out of it. We're going to talk about firstborn child and how they have to be the first to experience everything. They have to be the ones to like buy the clothes. There is no handout. Nobody's giving them any handouts. They're the ones that have to like be the ones giving to their junior siblings. Nobody understands all of this. Nobody talks about how they like have to mix up with their peers and how much of inferior they feel because they feel like they are not meeting up to what others are doing. Imagine being a firstborn child and it's still the same innerwear that you're wearing since you were in secondary school. They're still wearing your final year. How does that make you feel? Please guys, don't tell me about contentment again, because I know what contentment is, and yeah, we are here to rant. So now imagine also being in the midst of friends and you guys are talking and they are like all talking about their savings and what they want to do with money, and you yourself, you're not even eating breakfast. You've not eaten breakfast, yet someone is talking about how they mistakenly touched their savings because they wanted to like buy a wig. Guys, make it make sense to me. Let me tell you guys, poverty is one big of a thing that we don't get to discuss enough. And in as much as every time the issue of money comes up, we feel like, oh, this person is talking like this because they don't want to work hard or they don't want to do anything. It's not because they don't want to do anything. Sometimes people are privileged to some kind of information, and some people are not even privileged to that kind of information. And sometimes, you know, the thing that poverty does sometimes, like, it cripples you. You can't even make certain decisions. A poor person will be having a small heartache. They are having like a lump on their breast, and instead of getting that lump checked because of poverty, they are like, oh, let me just, it's just small, it's not just lump. And then the next year they have to go to the hospital and get diagnosed of stage 3 breast cancer. I'm not here to advise anybody, and I'm just here to like rant about the suffering, about the failing of an average Nigerian in this present economy. Recently, fuel is 1,200 in some states, and what are we doing about it? Some students, this period is this period that they are writing their exam. They are writing their exam now, and this is the period that fuel is increasing. This is the period that foodstuffs are going up, and this is the period that they still have to like study and still go and sit down and write exams. Are we seeing what students are passing through? Are we seeing what people are passing through in general? Because make it make sense to me. How are people surviving? How are they coping? How are they eating? That is why you see a parent and the child, 18 years old child, okay, 18 years is even an adult. You see a 12 years, a 13, 14-year-old child goes out and come back with money, and the parent doesn't even have the audacity to ask them, where did you get this money from? Because they know that there is no food in the house. Am I asking you, am I going to be able to give you the money? The only thing they just do is that they just collect the money and voila. And now guys, I'm going to just say one thing for the viewers that feel the same way, and just know that they're not alone, and this is a common feeling also. And maybe in my next video I'm going to like try to outline common things that the students can do to help improve their life as students. But for this video, for the purpose of this video is for ranting. And if you can relate to all that I've said so far, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and see you on the next video on how to manage your life as a student. All right, bye.